And we're live. We're live. Welcome, welcome everybody to our Sisters United Hangout. And today our topic is the power of making a commitment, the power of making a decision. And we're going to get into that in a sec, but first we're going to go across the board here. We're going to introduce everybody. We might have some more that'll pop in. We got some new people, and I'm just really excited. So I'm Valerie Jampolsky. I'm the Abundance Mom Freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I'm a single mom. I got twin 5-year-old boys. For those of you that know, I make my naked kid alert. They've got clothes on now, but hopefully they'll keep them on. I'll keep the space organized here, and I'm just so grateful that I can be here. Just absolutely so grateful I can be here. I used to be an entertainment attorney, and I had for me, it was on this topic, I had something happen. I made a powerful decision. I was sitting there very pregnant with my boys, very, very pregnant to the gills in my office, pregnant with the twins, and I had a sort of a powerful realization that if I didn't do something, make some drastic changes in my life, that I was not going to be around for my kids. I mean, they were going to be raised by somebody else. Never mind daycare, they'd be raised by nannies, because I wouldn't even be able to, that just wasn't even going to be an option. And so I'd made this powerful decision, actually, that I was going to be home with my kids. And the other thing I realized was that there was so much more to me, that had so much more to give than what I was doing, sitting there with everything that I was doing with what I was doing in that office. And I made a really, really powerful decision. And as a result of that, I'm here. I get to be here, and there's a lot more to that, but I get to be here and be home with and we'll get into that more a little bit, be home with my kids and travel with them. We got back to Bali for a few weeks. We're headed off to Orlando, and to be able to be there with them, homeschool them, do all this stuff, and be there for all those precious moments. And really be able to talk about things that matter to me. Do things like this where we're talking about things where we're inspiring people and how they can really remember more of who they really are and live their dreams. And so, anyways, that's me, and I'm going to pass it on over. I'm going to be coming across here. Karina, she hasn't got her little lower third up banner up, but she will soon. But I'm going to pop up and go over to you, Karina. Pop out and say hi.
Hi, this is Karina from Perth, Western Australia. Yeah, it's already in the middle of the night here, but I'm so excited to be here with my new sisters. This is my second hangout with the Sisters United, and yeah, I just recently got married, and yeah, I love traveling, and my horse Ted.
And welcome. And it's like, what is it, like around 11 o'clock at night there in Perth, right?
Yes, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we're here. We're literally from around the globe, which is just, it's so amazing. I'm in Los Angeles. It's like a little bit after 8 in the morning for me here in Los Angeles. And I'm going to come on over now to CJ. And for those of you who want to know on the panel, it kind of goes alphabetical by your first names. If you want to figure out where you are in the panel popping up, that's how it comes up here in Google. It's what it does. Okay, CJ, you're up.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Really quick, make sure that you say hello in our comments on our page.
Yes.
Let us know who's watching, and also let us know where you're watching from. And also, you may be able to put in the comments whatever you'd like to add to our discussion for today. We do check that throughout the Hangout, so please add in your comments, and we'll be more than happy to share that with everybody during the Hangout. Well, I'm CJ, and I live in Florida, and for me, it's 11 a.m. on Thursday morning. I am a stay-at-home mom of 3 incredible boys, and we share a life of abundance due to a choice to be free as a family and to have the lifestyle of freedom and to grow together and experience life as a family. We are also a homeschooled family. We homeschool through all 3 of our boys every day from our house, or our field trips go out to museums, or we go to other areas of the, we went to Nature Park this week. So it's just we have total freedom, and we have joy, and we have abundance within our household, and that's all because we made the choice to be a family and not let the everyday world control our lives. Now, it wasn't always like this for us. I'm from corporate America. I worked in it for 14 years, and I would work anywhere from a 12 to a 16-hour day while trying to raise my 3 boys. And my oldest is 9, my middle is 6, and my youngest will be 4 on Sunday. So Yes, so it's one of those choices that we made and we'll never turn back, and our lives from this point forward will only get better. And it has, as a family, we have developed and we have grown so much because we made the choice to be free and to cut ourselves from the everyday corporate worlds. And to have every moment with them is priceless for me. And
Yeah.
the quote that I always say is, moments only happen once, so grab them and go.
Yeah. It's and I love it. I love what you've been posting. I saw these on the manatees that went out and
Yes.
saw them. So cool. I'm going to come on over to, and thank you for reminding us about everything on the page as well.
Oh,
CJ's,
you're welcome, honey.
Carolina, you are up.
Hello, guys. So my name is Carolina Helen. I'm from Finland, Åland, in a little island between Finland and Sweden. And I'm a mother of three. I have a 15-year-old girl, and I have a 14-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl. And I'm an entrepreneur since like 10 years back in time, but I'm also a cancer survivor that ended my last working period with entrepreneuring, and this is like totally new capital for me. And why I'm here with you guys and why I'm at all in this kind of business now is because I just realized that I have been missing so much of my children growing up while I was working as my own entrepreneur, but I was taking care of lots of other people, but I forgot to take care of myself and my family. So it's kind of a little bit of a sad story that I have missed so much, and I just had to make the decision that I won't miss anything anymore for this time, as long they are living at home now. So I don't want to miss anything from they growing up anymore. So that's why I'm here. I'm also a yoga teacher. So if you see me jumping off from, from Hangouts, it's because my students start to roll in. So then I have to go. So I just make a discreet like bye-bye, and then I go. But I watch always the rest of the Hangouts later. So it's really such a pleasure to be listening and watching you girls every time. So I just love it. So thank you for having me here.
And we love you, Carolina. So we may come to you sooner rather than later, and we go into the topic because you often do have to hop for your yoga students. And I'm going to pass it on over. We got someone brand new to Sisters United, Leanne.
Hey.
Leanne, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Welcome. It's awesome, sister.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it hasn't even been a week yet, so it's exciting. Lots to learn. A little bit about myself. It's 8:15 in the morning here. I'm in Vancouver, BC. So another corner of the world for you guys. A little bit about myself. I'm 38, not married, no kids yet, but I have met someone, and he's on the other side of the world in Turkey, and we are kind of trying to figure out a way to join together and I guess have a life both here in Canada and in Turkey. Just to kind of back up a little bit, I have also worked in the corporate world. I was a manager for a number of years at a trucking company, and back in 2014 I kind of came to a crossroad and I thought, well, this isn't really where I want to be, and I have ancestors in Sweden, and I felt that I needed to go and see if I could live in Sweden, and I had been there multiple times before just as vacations, and I quit my job and I took a leap and I went there for 3 months, and then I came back, and basically for the last year now I have been trying to find a job, and I had a temporary job for about 6 months and finding nothing, and basically just getting further and further and further and further and further in debt. And then now meeting someone who's from afar, having to kind of now put our lives together and how to do that. So coming across this Empower business is, I think, all the stars are aligning, and I just totally feel that this is the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to have you here, Liam. So so excited. Yeah. We're literally crossing. We're everywhere. We got Europe, we got Canada, the U.S. We're all over the place. And last but not least on the panel, unless somebody else pops in, is we got and you got someone here from Sweden. So you can connect up with Carolina. Poppy, you are up. Poppy.
Hi. I don't know what to say. I guess I got started back when I was really feeling really stuck in my day job as a youth worker. Things were just really empty and boring, and I wanted freedom, and I just really wanted to be able to be guided by a bunch of people who were doing the same thing and be connected to like-minded people who could really really help me, and I'm just trying to think what else to say. I guess the other thing for me is I've changed my day job now, and I've got lots of different options going. I have heaps more freedom now, and now I actually get to choose my work. Like, I actually really love the paid work that I do, but I love also having that freedom and flexibility to, be able to work from anywhere I like, take time off and travel whenever I want to, and still be connected and still be able to share ideas and inspire people in multiple different ways, not just in my paid work. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yay, cool. Thank you. Excited. And where in Australia are you?
Oh, sorry. I'm in Perth, Australia. Yeah, so same as Karina. So yeah, it's like 20 past 11 at night. I'm normally sleeping right now, but I'm like, no, I'm turning up. I'm committed.
Yeah, we sometimes we have like on here, and she's on at like 1 in the morning or something crazy. It's like, it's cool. And hopefully maybe Sarita will pop out. If not, Sarita's with us in spirit.
Hopefully.
And I'm just gonna hop into the topic first, and then I think we're gonna go over to you, Carolina, just in the interest of what goes on with your schedule there. So this topic of the power of making a commitment, and power of making a decision, and it operates on so many different levels. For me, part of my story, which is really kind of wild, was I started this by telling you I was pregnant to the gills with the twins in my office, like surrounded by everything. And like I said, I made this powerful decision, although I had no clue how I was going to do it. I made this really powerful decision that I needed to be there. I wanted to be there for my kids, and I wanted to find a way so that I could be really making a difference in people's lives. Really, we talked about this last week, shining, how to shine my light, what that was. And I just knew it wasn't what I was doing, pushing papers and helping the studio decide what next movie to make. And for me, a powerful thing happened. I mean, crazy things, because when you make a decision, a really powerful, like it was like, it's not like, what am I going to eat for breakfast, but, a powerful decision and commitment. Like I made it was a commitment that no matter what, I was going to make this happen for me and those little beings growing inside of me at the time. And the universe just moves, because it's a hard thing to leave a 6-figure job. I was absolutely miserable. I knew what kind of hell it was going to create. I call it the golden handcuffs, what it was going to create in my life if I didn't make the shift. But I made this powerful, and I could see it. Like I could actually see myself, home with my little ones. I went into that visualization, that experience about it, even though I had no idea how I was going to make it happen. And 6 months into my maternity leave, the studio goes bankrupt. An entire studio that had been around for eons went bankrupt. If you probably saw it in the news, MGM went bankrupt. Okay, and they laid off all the attorneys in my department, and I had a very unique thing that I did that you just really, was only a couple places in the world that would hire for what I do, even though I was really good at what I do. One of which did lay me off, and the other one I didn't really, I didn't want it anyways. I would have maybe even just go part-time there, but I just honestly didn't want it. And so I set on this journey of looking for what I wanted to do, and you know, a lot of different things happened. This what we do right now, this business wasn't even available, so I went through a lot of different things, but I continued. I kept going. I kept the dream alive, even though it took a couple of years for me to stumble across this, simply because it didn't exist, like literally didn't exist at that time. But I kept going, no matter what happened. I kept going. I kept the commitment going, and I just kept moving forward. And you know, it's one of those things. And you know, I'm going to speak a little bit. Sarita's not here, but she has such a powerful story. I want to relate a little bit, but. And a lot of you might be able to resonate with it as well too, but it was like this whole idea of, you know, she wanted to be home with her kids too. She wanted to be home with her little ones. And it's something about when you have a powerful why, a really powerful why, it's that ability to make that commitment and take the actions on what we do. Like you know, you'll see there's a button below if you want to join us, figure out what the heck we're doing, but you know, there's a system. There's a system, and there's a series of steps, and you listen to your mentors and whatever they say, you know, and it's being open to taking steps. And a lot of people get into, as entrepreneurs, they get into businesses and they do things, but they don't actually take the steps. They think it's like it's magic or something. And it's not like it's hard, but, you know, what we do, it's just literally the difference between the people that take the actions. Like if you've made a powerful commitment, like a really deep one, you actually take the actions. You do whatever it takes to in that process, and that's just it. It's like, for me, it's a couple of things. It's like the universe opens up to allow the machinations, whatever's necessary to make it happen, and sometimes it might seem like it's going down before it goes up. Like a studio had to go bankrupt and lay me off in order for me to like really make that jump, right? And it was, and even though I'd known inside my life and my heart that what I was doing was not my heart's joy or everything, it took for me to be actually pregnant, where there were beings other than myself on the line, where I had just a powerful why. It was like a combination of things that when I was solid in my why and solid in what it was, I was able to make that powerful decision. And when I did, all things shifted, you know. And even the things, like even in the process of what I do in my business, because there's ups and downs and things happen, but it's like no matter what happens, right? To say it doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to continue forward. I mean, I think of, you know, for those of us that are parents, even just remember kids when they learn to walk, right? Now just imagine, right, if they didn't have a powerful determination, make a powerful commitment decision that they wanted to walk, and they get up, and they go to do this walking thing, and they fall down on their little bottoms, and they go, you know, I did it, I tried this walking thing, but I just don't think it's for me. I think I'll just kind of like crawl around on the floor. It's right here, right? You know, we never walk. You know, I mean, we get up, we fall down, we get up, we fall down, and every time we get up, there's that, we get a little bit better at it. You know, like that rocket ship, you've heard, a lot of you heard me talk about this, the rocket ship to the moon. I mean, it's 95, 98% of the time it's off course. But it's in motion, and we're moving, right? We're moving. Or like an analogy that I think a lot of people can relate to is when you're driving a car, right? You got your foot on the gas, holding on to that steering wheel, right? And are your hands sitting perfectly still as you're driving? They're not. Yeah, I mean, we do these little micro adjustments. And what was it like when we first started to drive? I don't know about you, but I was like this, right? Going, okay. And I'd go to turn and be like going off way over here, and my dad's going like this, going, okay, you can do this, you know. But I mean, and then I'm like turning a little bit over here, and just, I mean, it takes all this conscious effort to do the little bit of adjustments at first, so you don't go ramming into a tree, right? But eventually, we get used to like moving forward, and we just like, that's it. You know, when you're driving, and it's like, oh, the car's veering off. I'm going to stop driving because the car's veering. No, we make the micro adjustment. So we're just naturally, after a while, you get better at doing your micro adjustments, right? And you're just driving, and you can, you know, focus on driving and do the micro adjustments and all of that, and you get to go in a direction and go. And for me, that's just always been such a powerful analogy. But it's like when you make the commitment that you're getting from here to there and you put your foot on the gas, you know, even if you have to make micro adjustments or make adjustments as you're going, you know you want to get wherever you're going to go. I got to get to the store. I got to go get some groceries. The fact that I have to adjust the wheel a little bit on the way isn't going to stop me from getting my butt to the store, right? You know, I mean, that's just, I mean, it's a weird analogy, but just a lot of, for me, when you've made a powerful commitment, for me, when my heart and my why is in it, that's when I'm willing to do whatever it is and to make those adjustments and do it and know that it's part of the process. That's part of how the universe works. Do this, and that everything is a learning process. And you know, and anything is possible. Amazing things are possible. I've been able to do some really wild and wonderful things with my boys, like the travels that I've done, and you know, being able to really be able to just, like, you know, you're going to hear from everybody here all the stories about what everybody's done. But and if you're watching this, you know, what were some of the powerful decisions that you've made in your life? You know, what are the whys behind maybe some of the powerful decisions you've made? We'd love to hear it, like to throw it in the chat. And even if you're watching this in the replay, by the way, if you're watching this in the replay, the intention, time, and space really have, you know, no bearing in all this, because we're here all together. And we do also check the comments and everything else and comment in. So if you're watching this in the replay, please hop in. So I am going to pass it on over to Carolina, and then we'll go across the board. And any time, guys, everybody on the panel here, if you have a thought or anything you want to pop up, just pop up. You know, pop up with your thoughts and stuff. I'm going to go over to Carolina.
Okay. So my commitments and decisions and how to keep going with those things, because when I jumped into this, it was like totally like something new. I didn't even know how to do all these things with computer. I'm like totally with the thumbs middle of my hands what comes to the managing computers and stuff like that. So I was terrified. I was so scared, but I don't really know what it was that told me that I actually can do it. So for first time in my life, I probably stopped to listening to that voice that was like, well, you can't do it because you have never done it before. Because it's so easy to live to that kind of state that you haven't done it before, so you can't do it. But it's all the time sometimes it's like it's most of the time is when you come to something new, you haven't done it before. So every time you come to something new, you have to take the first steps. You are baby in that state when you come into something new. So that was also a little bit new for me, because I'm that kind of person that when I get frustrated, I easily just jump off, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not putting myself out to this kind of stress and stuff like that. But what was different this time was, like you were talking about the why, was the why I'm into this and why I'm striving to more and more to work from home and just wanting to work with stuff that I have passion for and that I think is giving me powers, and that is like empowering me, lifting me up. And that part is yoga, but also to be with my family. So I don't want to be doing any more like work that just empties me, because I have done it before and it only got me sick. I don't like blame my work or my clients, but when you like get into that mode that you feel that you are already working too much, and you are so tired, but when you get so tired that you start to think that you don't have the energy to keep up doing what you are doing, and if you sit down you are going to fall asleep or something like that, and then you actually put in a new, like, I don't know how to say it in English, but you actually just turn after another engine and you start to drive even faster. So for me to starting working like the first 15%, then 17, and middle of everything I was like up to almost to 200% and than what normally people work. And I was my own entrepreneur, but I was so busy taking care of everyone else, so I totally forgot to take care of myself, and the most important thing, to take care of my family. So that's why I have, like, yes, I have been frustrated. It's hard to come to a new business, and it's hard to learn some new stuff. And when you haven't like gone to school where you learn to use computer and different kind of programs, it's really hard. But I haven't left this for some reason, and the reason is my wife, and it's my family, it's my children. I don't want to be more from home that I have to. And now I have been like a little bit working like part-time job as a personal assistant, but it's like been only a couple of months, but I already noticed how much it takes when it is something that is not for you, when you are doing something that you don't have any passion for. I don't mean that like working as a personal assistant is wrong. It's right when you have the passions for to do it, but I don't have it. It's not my kind of job. I want to help people in my shala. I want to help people with talking and spreading the awareness and empowering people with my survival story, and to pushing more people to follow their dreams. That's my passion, and that's something that only grows like stronger and stronger and stronger, and I feel it like it's even harder for me to even think about that option, that I would just give up and let it be.
Yeah, and you've got such a powerful thing. I mean, like, you making the decision, you know, with your cancer to just what you did. You made a very powerful decision even there to say, this is it. I'm coming through this onto the other side, right?
Yeah, choosing life.
Choosing life, exactly. Choosing life. Choosing, you know, choosing the positive, and just saying, I'm going for it, you know. I just think it's so powerful. Your story is inspiring, and that's the thing, is like now you're on a platform where you can really even make a big, powerful difference with that as well, which is just so cool. So, thank you, Carolina, and
thank you.
Yeah, any thoughts you got that pop up. So I'm just gonna for lack of anything, I'm just gonna come across, and like I said, anybody who's got any thoughts or anything, just pop on in. So Karina, you are up, girl.
Okay, so I've just hit the not mute button anymore, so here I am. Yeah, so what I wanted to say is making decisions means making a commitment, but also means taking responsibility. And my experience over many years, I've seen so many people are just so scared of that responsibility. And that's a pretty powerful thing, because if you make a decision, then you know you head into a new direction, and only if you really back your decision up from the bottom of your heart, you can achieve what you want. So what I'm saying, I'm just going back to my story. Obviously, I'm a first-generation migrant here in Australia. I've been here for 7 years. I'm originally from Germany, and you know, I wanted to make this move for so many years, but I just did not get this idea straight in my head for such a long time. And you know, and but and if and what happens and when, and then oh no, it's not good time at the moment, and this and that, and you know, it just a sort of, I had this vision, but I never was brave enough to make that decision. And that was actually quite frustrating. And one day I just got to a point that, okay, I'm doing that. And, you know, all of a sudden everything sort of fell into place for myself. And, you know, I was honest to myself, but I also was honest to other people in my life. And, you know, it just, you know, the cloudy sky, they just cleared up somehow. And all of a sudden you can make a plan how to achieve what you want to do. You know, you build the road as you go. And for me, then it started, okay, I really want to do this. Then I went through all sort of homepages, how to find jobs, how to get a visa, what the rental prices are. And, you know, it's just, you only can get going with something if you made the decision. And yeah, I just, you know, for myself it was, you know, if I don't try it now, it might be too late one day, and then I would regret it for the rest of my life. So now or never. And that was my big decision, my first big decision in my life. And the second decision I've just made a couple of weeks ago, and said, okay, I'm getting started here. I want to do this. This is the key to so many other things in my life. As I just said, my family is in Europe. I just got married recently. My husband is not Australian either. So only to see family, all my annual leave just disappears just to see family, and the money as well. So there's no time and no money just to go out and do a lot of other traveling and horses and whatever. So I made this decision, I want to do this, and this is the key to so many other things in my life. And I'm so looking forward to achieving that goal in a couple of weeks, couple of months. It's already happening, and that's just such a great feeling. I just can urge people, just think about it, what you want, what you really want in your life, and then make a plan how to achieve it.
I love that, and I love him. You not only making decisions what we're doing here, but even just getting yourself into the country that you wanted to be in, and everything that it took for you to do that. And that no matter what, it was like once you'd made your decision, it was like you weaved around, you did what you figured out how to make it happen. It's
exactly.
Just like, and in a way, it was like part of the decision and the commitment and seeing yourself. There's a question for you. When you made the decision, when you were still in Germany, you wanting to come to Australia and make it work. I mean, could you see yourself here and making it happen and making it work, or was there a part of it that was like where you could actually see it happening? You had the feeling of the experience of what it would feel like once you've actually achieved it, and you're able to be here, you know, be in Australia legally and do everything that you want to do.
Yeah, well, I started in Australia just with a work and holiday visa, so that was a 1 year's permission to live in Australia for 1 year and be able to work with one employer for 6 months. So that was the easiest way to get there. Visas Australia is really a hard thing. So, but what I already did before I left, I did my tax return. I closed everything out. I sold my furniture and everything, and I said, okay, I'm gonna try this now, and I've got a plan. So obviously, this situation is not ideal, but that's the best I have at the moment, and then I have to go from there. So you have to take it in steps, and sometimes you don't have an answer to all the questions immediately, but as you go, and then again, you meet people, you network, you talk to people with similar experience, and get your, I call it mentoring as well, and then, you know, so step by step it all fell into place. And yeah, it's nothing is impossible. You just have to really want it and dig in and sink your teeth in, and don't give up until you've got it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. So I'm seeing is like you made this decision. You wanted to come to Australia, and then you opened up to yourself. You opened up your life. I'm sort of making the analogy here for everybody, right? You opened up your life to say, okay, what do I need to do? What's my first step? What's my next step? And you came up with, you know, an initial plan, right? and you just took action on it, and as it went along, when you hit an obstacle, you didn't just stop. You said, okay, well, this is as far as I can get here, but I'm going to open up, and people came into your life. Like you said, you listened to your life going, okay, I need to go here, and this is going to come here, this piece is going to come there. You didn't even need to know exactly how it was all going to work. You just kept going no matter what, right? And you just kept moving through it, and all the pieces came into place. You sought out mentors. I mean, all of that. I mean, just saying, I don't know if you guys are hearing the analogy here. It's just, it's a powerful thing what you did, and it's the same kind of thing even for those of us that are entrepreneurs. I just think your story is so powerful in that process of everything. Replay. Listen to exactly what Karina said here. If you watch this, come back and watch it in the replay, because it was really powerful. Apply exactly what you did. The same mindset and all the things that you did in terms of getting yourself to be able to work and live full-time in Australia, and the attitude and the mindset about it, to the same thing to being an entrepreneur, to the same thing as to anything in your life, whatever it is, and especially to this, and doing a business like this and being an entrepreneur and just keeping the commitment to do it. It's like, we have mentors and we have steps and everything else, but a lot of it is inside having that determination that your life is, I think Karina froze out. She's coming back. We've got two of her, but that's okay. I'm going to pop on over to CJ. CJ, you're up.
Hey! Welcome, ladies. I'm actually going to be sharing something that has never been shared before, so everyone is going to get a first-time story from me here, because I've never shared this live with anyone before. But I'm going to start off with a quote, and the quote is, "Commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you." Meaning the course of life will change, and you just cannot lose that vision that you set this motion in when you were feeling those emotions, when you were feeling that drive to take that path. Never forget that. Always remember why you did this. For me, it was June of 2014. I was on a family vacation, and this was when my life changed for me, because I had never thought of doing anything else but corporate America. I had the job, I had the benefits, I had the vacation package. I just didn't have the time with my kids. But I didn't know anything else. I didn't know any other life. I didn't know any other options, because that was all that I had ever known, and that's all that I've ever been told, is that you have to have the job, you have to have the benefits, you have to have the vacations, otherwise you're not going to have a life. Until June of last year, we were on vacation, the 5 of us were together, and my cell phone started to go off. It started to beep and bing and ring like crazy, and I answered it. And that was when I had found out that my job of 14 years had laid off over 800 employees in one shot. They called a mass meeting and laid everybody off. I was freaking out, to be quite calm. I was not, but there was other things that I was doing at the time. And that was, I didn't know what else was going to be happening. I didn't know where else I was going to be, if I was going to have a job when I got home. And then I got the phone call that I was one of 6 out of my entire department that they kept on. I couldn't live with that. I could not live with the fact of having that fear over my head ever again. I could not live with the fact of not knowing if I was going to be able to put food on my children's table, not knowing if I was going to be able to keep a roof over their head, knowing that the job that I've had for 14 years can just lay 800 people off in one time and not have any care, no warning for these people. Literally, they went to work that morning thinking they were going to have a job, and then they're called into this mass meeting and they're gone. And I couldn't live with that anymore. So I had come home, started my research, and that's when I had found the online business. And I reached out to the mentor, and I got speaking with the mentor, and 3 months later I had joined, and I've never gone back. I've never looked back, and if anything, I've grown. It's helped me develop as a person. It's helped me give the confidence. It's helped me transform into the mom that I know I am, into the wife that I have always been. It's just that I was never allowed to develop. I was never allowed to grow. I was never allowed to be what was truly inside of me and to be the person that I am. And once I made that commitment to myself, once I made that commitment to my husband, and once I made that commitment to my 3 boys, my life has just been filled with nothing but happiness, true abundance, true joy, and just to be able to take that path that I know I've been handed by the grace of a big, huge wake-up call was the biggest thing that I could have ever done. And it's just to walk away from a job that was stability and to make that leap of faith on myself to make this work and to grow my own business, because I had never had my own business ever. So it was a commitment that I had to make myself, because I've never done online marketing of any type. I've never had my own business. I've never done any of the applications, any of the platforms, none of that. So I had to learn it all. And if I can do it, you can do it. Because I've always been told what to do. With corporate America, you're told this is what you need to do, this is how it has to be done, this is what we expect. So you're never able to be you. You're never able to explore and look into other options. So for me, having to find my own answers and implement those answers into my daily life, anybody can do it. Because once you have that passion and that drive and that courage to move forward, it's the strongest thing you'll ever experience in your life. And you'll always remember that fight, always.
Wow. That's so powerful, CJ. You know I feel that whole thing. It's like you had the same thing. What do they call it? Bloody Friday or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. Well, and in a weird way, it's sort of like, you know, the universe, God, whatever you would call it, making possible. You know.
Yeah. It gave me that little kick in the bunya that I needed to be me, because I was always there. I just was always doing what I was told I had to do, not what I was following myself to do. And now I follow myself.
Yeah, that's cool. Yay! And now I'm going to bring up Leanne. I know you got a powerful story and a powerful why deep in you. Here we go. Hey.
Yeah, definitely. Basically, even just starting my life, my dreams of getting married and starting my own family. It's a huge thing for me. It's the desires of my heart, and you know, in order to have that, the man of my dreams is not from this country, and I have to make that happen by possibly putting myself there, or you know, going back and forth. And I basically was looking at my life, thinking, how can I do this? And you know, like all of you, making that commitment and taking action with your own life is really what's pushing me forward on this and going, because yes, I have that vision where I'm not going to have to struggle like so many people, and you know, that you can have the happiness and the family that you really want. And I think that just having that going forward and knowing that this is actually going to happen is really what pushes me and makes my commitment to want to keep pushing forward every single moment.
Yeah, and it's funny because you'd made this determination that somehow you're going to make this work. You're going to find a way to make this happen, to be able, you know, to be with, you know, with your fiancé. You guys can build your life together, even though he's in another country, and figure out how to make that happen. And because of that, you made that commitment, you made that decision. You opened up your life and just started listening to your life and taking actions, and now here you are, you're in a position to be able to do something about that, to actually, you know, you finding solutions. It's like just like somebody else that might be watching this right now, and you know, something that one of us might have said, you stumbled in, you're here somehow and you're watching, you know, and that, you know, there's a way, like the life will open up and give you answers, and it's right in front of your nose, right? So, you know, being able to take those steps, but you had to make that decision, that commitment, and to open up your life to see what's like right in front of you, opportunities that are right there, and even in the process of doing that, you know, I just think it's a powerful it's a powerful thing, and I'm so.
It's a love story.
Yeah. I'm gonna come on over to Poppy. Poppy, you're up.
Hey, so many ideas have been coming to me while I've been listening to everyone talk, so I took some notes because a few things have come to mind. Like, my mother always raised me to be financially independent as a woman. She just said it was so important, in a relationship that, if, yeah, always have your own money. She just always made that very clear to me. And like I always held on to that. And, I always imagined myself successful when I was at school, but I kind of was just following the program of like, go to school, get a job, do the thing. And I was in my jobs and I was kind of like, what's going on here? Like, this is not the life that I imagined, but I didn't really know what to do. Everything was really fuzzy to me and I just didn't see a way forward. And my whole 20s were these years of like trying to piece together some sort of a freedom reality for myself. And when I traveled and I met amazing like creative hippies like at festivals around the world or whatever, doing like awesome stuff, and it was great. They lived this life of freedom, but they didn't have money, and I was thinking like, okay, well, that doesn't suit me either, because I want financial abundance. I want to have the best of both worlds. And I guess, I kind of fast forward a few years. I met my partner that I'm completely in love with now, and Jimmy and I have been together for 3 years, and my first serious relationship. We want to start having kids next year, and it's because of him that I got involved in becoming an entrepreneur and getting involved in this system. And he took a leap of faith in me by giving me the ability for me to invest in myself. And in that process, I made a real commitment to him that I was going to make this work. And, along the way, life can present its challenges, and there were some things that kind of held me back a little bit, or excuses that I made, for a little while. But as soon as I could clear those things out to like make way for this and focusing only on this, I did that because I was committed. And I just feel like every time we break commitments to ourselves or to people that we love, it's like we lose a lot of power. There's this little part of us that feels shame or guilt or whatever, and it's like I work with kids, and kids are really like precious about your word to them. You say that you're going to do something for them or with them, and they will hold you to that. And if you don't do that, they're really disappointed in you. And so like I'm really, really conscious of being as impeccable with my word as possible. It's not always possible. There are times where you can't be, but I don't know, I just think it's a really powerful thing to really honor your word and to say that you're going to do something that you said you were going to do. Do something that you said you were going to do. And just like I thought of this really funny example of myself, because like, I can be really stubborn. And like when I was a little girl, I remember trying to learn to ride a bike when I was like 5. My dad took the training wheels off and I rode down the street and I fell into dog poo. Like, it was really traumatic, and I gave up at that point. I was like, that's it, I'm not riding a bike ever again. And then you fast forward a few years later, I think I was like nearly 11 or something like that. And there was going to be bike education at school. So it was going to be like riding bikes in front of everyone at school, doing like different learning road rules and all this sort of stuff. And I didn't know how to ride a bike. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like I'm 11 and everyone else is going to know how to ride a bike and I'm not going to know, and it's going to be humiliating. So school holidays, like there was 2 weeks and I was determined, like 100% committed. I'm teaching myself to ride this bike and I'm not humiliating myself in front of all these kids. And my parents still talk about it. Like I was just like in that backyard every day, just hours, just around in a figure eight. And I didn't have a very big yard. It was pretty small, but I was just so set that was what I was going to do. And I did it. you know, I totally did it. And that sense of pride and accomplishment and like victory that I said that I was going to do this and I'm going to do it. And so that's how I feel about this as well. Like, I may have, you know, had my little period of maybe not being as focused as I'd like, but now that, you know, I'm back, I'm just so pumped and so excited and so determined, more determined than ever and more committed than ever. You know, the last thing I want to do is to break trust with my man and sort of, and not just to him, but to me. Like, I want a life of freedom. I want to be able to inspire and uplift, you know, people all over the world. I don't want to just be confined to this small life. I never pictured myself living a small life, you know. So yeah, so that's me. I think commitment is our power. It's our ability to make our life happen the way that we want it to, and it's what makes people trust in us. So it's important. Yeah, that's me.
And yeah, and I love it. It's so powerful. It's like at any point, you know, you can always make the decision, even if you've dropped, like to say, this is it. I'm coming back and I'm doing it. And you did it like, it's like you let go of the bike, but then you came back and you made it happen. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
maybe you got started here and then you didn't really move, but then you didn't really take action on it. But it's now you're here. You're riding on that bike. You're on that bike, girl. You know.
Totally. And you just quickly, like, you know, if I hadn't taken action in this area, there was a whole cascade of other decisions that I wouldn't have made that have got me to where I'm at now. So all of it happens how it's meant to happen. And, you know, sometimes I think it's really important to just love yourself in that process, because it's not going to be the same for everyone, and that's okay. You know, just honor yourself, but still keep to your word. You know, don't just give up, because that sucks.
Yeah, but you did.
Yeah.
You came back. So, do you know? Was there something in particular that triggered inside of you, like a particular moment where you said, okay, because, you know, that brought you back into your commitment here? Is there something that you think of that all of a sudden you went, that's it, I'm back and I'm doing this, I'm going to actually do this?
It's
like,
you know, it's really hard for me to pinpoint it. It's hard for me to pinpoint that, because it was always in the back of my mind that I was coming back. It was never going to be anything in particular. I think there were some moments, like, you know, because I had to take on some leadership roles within my job, and I just hated it. You know, I did it because it was necessary at the time, but I just remember the fear that I would have, like, dealing with, you know, my boss maybe telling me off, or maybe I didn't do things right, or whatever. That constant like worry, like, oh, someone's not happy with my performance, or not happy with what I'm doing, or how I'm acting in this moment, things like that. And it just drove me nuts. Like, I was like, I don't want to have my well-being determined by someone else's opinion of me. And that's what happens when you're working for someone else. It's always like that, you know. But there was so many, like, little moments that at this time I can't think of, like, a specific pivotal point. It's just been this, I just never really gave up on myself. Not really. It was just I had to kind of put things aside for a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, I'm so excited. You know, ever since, I mean, I saw what was happening with you. You jumped in. You were in, like, our mastermind. Got yourself around mentors, and, like, to really sort of jumpstart. It's so brilliant to watch you. All, you know, you're on video. You're doing, you know, you're communicating. You're sharing yourself, and it's just, I'm so excited that you're here, because you've got so much to give. I was like, the first video I saw, I was like, who's Poppy? Oh my God, Poppy! We gotta talk to Poppy. We gotta get here. So.
Oh, cool! Thanks, Molly.
Like, you make that determination, and out you come. You know,
Yeah.
thing. So.
For sure.
I'm just excited to have you here. CJ, you're always really good at this. Can you look and see, do we have any comments? Just realized we haven't been looking at the chat. Whoops, she just
doesn't.
Oh, no, I was actually just getting ready to jump off. No, there has been no comments added.
No comments added. Okay, cool. Well, if anybody's watching this in the replay, feel free to jump in with your thoughts and everything else. And anybody else here in the panel, anybody want to add in anything into the conversation, what anybody else has said, or anything? We're good? Right?
No, good.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna, because we're at the top of the hour here, I'm just gonna close it out with with this thought, and that is that, it's really all about. I mean, if you're still watching this, there's something that you're resonating with whatever's going on inside of us here, and the power of making the commitment and the decision is operates on that whole esoteric level as well, in the sense that everything, the universe starts moving in your favor, God, whatever you want to call it, everything starts moving. And if we've made the commitment and allow ourselves to stay open, you don't need to know exactly how it's going to of how you're going to make things happen. It's a matter of just saying, I know I'm going to do it. I'm going to find what I need to find. So, like, for me, I made the determination I was going to be home with my kids, and I mean, it took me a few years till I came across this, right? But it's like, okay, I'm just going to keep going, and then this is going to lead to this, is going to lead to this, and next thing you know, I'm here, and I've got, a system with everything all put together, and the mentors and all the pieces, and then really just, it's about, once you've found something, to trust to take action. Just to trust yourself to take the action. And even within that, it's like trusting, for me, it's about trusting my life, opening up my life and going, okay, in this moment, what am I going to do right here, right now? And going to the next step, the next step, the next step, and just constantly going back into that feeling. One of the things I know that we talk about, I think Sarita's also, okay, sweetie, I'll be hopping off in a sec.
Crackers.
Okay.
Left forgot.
Okay, sweet pea. Can you say hi?
I want to go to the park.
And we will, sweetheart. So, what, you want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
You say, anyways, this is Jordan, by the way. So, and he's actually dressed. He's got his clothes on. He's ready to go to the park. Okay. So, bottom line is to really just, allow yourself to be open to the information and to taking action. And we're gonna. I'm coming. Okay. That's it. That's the universe. Okay, sweetie. I'm almost finished here. This is someone with determination. This is seriously. Look at this. As a kid, it's like, look, he is determined. And it's that kind of determination in a kid. Whoop! Here we go. That we want to keep, right? So, with that, everybody, love you all. See you next week. Have the kind of determination of a little kid that you're going to make it happen.
Thanks, Valerie.